Come on in. My name is Bill Tobin, and this is your restaurant success tip of the day. We've all heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And we spend a lot of time making sure that first impression is perfect for our guests coming in the restaurant. But how about the first impression that we make to potential employees or job applicants when they're coming in the restaurant, or people that you've actually hired when they've come in the restaurant? Are your hosts or your managers at the front of the restaurant welcoming to new job applicants? Are your job applications, the paper itself, are those copies of copies of copies? What kind of impression are you making when you have a faded job application that you can barely read or is crooked on the paper? Do your managers have specific and consistent questions that they ask every job applicant or every interviewee? Is your employee manual available online? Or do you have just bunches of papers stapled together haphazardly in no particular order? I've seen that for employee manuals before. How about your training program? Is that specific and consistent for every position in the restaurant? Are your employees welcoming to new staff members coming into the restaurant? Your onboarding program, is that consistent? We spend so much time making sure that our guests have a good impression of our restaurant, but then I hear restaurant owners, especially small and medium-sized restaurant owners, say, well, they filled out a job application. I called them for an interview and they didn't show up. Well, maybe it's because the first impression wasn't so good and they were too embarrassed to say that they were going to go someplace else that looked a little more professional. Or maybe that they actually do get hired, they get through all this because they need a job so bad, but then several times in the restaurant, in the onboarding progress, they see that the place is unorganized, that you haven't kept your tools up, your training program is in shambles, and they're thinking, okay, maybe this place isn't someplace I want to work, and after their third or fourth shift, they're gone. We need to make sure that we're making make sure that we're making a good impression for our new hires as much as we're making a good impression for our guests. So your task for today, make sure that you're making a good first impression to potential new hires. Now go make it happen. Do you have a comment or a tip for restaurant leaders? Text me at 808-201-0550 or find me at restaurantleadership365.com. This is Bill Tobin. Thanks for coming in. See you tomorrow.